Hello and welcome to this special broadcast. I'm 𝗟𝗓𝗓𝗓 and today we are going to discuss about dust pollution. Well, as we all know, the situation is quite alarming in Assam, particularly in Guwahati, isn't it? Well, air pollution in Guwahati has increased to an alarming level, causing various respiratory diseases. So, before going on with the discussion, let's take a look at the detailed report on dust pollution.
India's air pollution is a rolling disaster that shows no sign of slowing down. A 2022 report by the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air think tank found that almost the entire population of India is exposed to air pollution above the guidelines set by the World Health Organization. Not only this, in the year 2019, air pollution killed an estimated 1.6 million Indians. Now talking about Guwahati, well, air pollution in Guwahati has increased to an alarming level, causing breathing problems among some sections of population, mostly children. With a high pollution level in the city since last couple months, the children with the age group starting from 6 months to 5 years are mostly getting affected from various respiratory infections. According to GMCH authorities, on average, 10 to 15 children are admitted daily at Guwahati Medical College Hospital due to various respiratory infections like bronchiolitis, pneumonia and asthma since last couple of weeks.
Bahut suspended particles air ase, and that has resulted in this sort of a situation. Amar normal manhue about 50,000 liters hawa nakedi loy through the lungs, that gets purified, sapha hoy, tasot body diye. Tetia sauk 24 ঘণ্টাত যদি 50,000 লিটাৰ আমি এই হাৱাটো লওঁ, এই হাৱাটোত ডাষ্ট আছে, পোলেন্স আছে, ধূলি আছে, বহুত কিবা আছে। এই গোটেইখিনি লাংছত এফেক্ট কৰে আৰু কি ধৰণৰ এফেক্ট কৰে? ব্ৰংকিঅলাইটিছ হয়, এইবোৰ বেমাৰ হয়। যোনবোৰৰ এজমা আছে, এজমাটো বাঢ়ি যায়। কিছুমানৰ ছেকেণ্ডেৰী ইনফেকশ্যনছ, ডায়েবেটিছ আছে যদি ডায়েবেটিছৰ পৰা ইনফেকশ্যন হয়, জ্বৰ হৈ পেলাই খেকাৰ হৈ ওলায় আৰু সেইবোৰ কমপ্লিকেশ্যন হৈ পেলাই ক্ৰিটিকেল হৈ যাব পাৰে। বডি ৰেছেছ বহুত বেছি হয়, বহুতৰ এই ডাষ্ট পাৰ্টিকেলছ লাগিলে ৰেছেছ হয়। তেতিয়া আমি কওঁ যদি খুব বেছি হয় তেতিয়াহ'লে কাম এণ্ড ভিজিট টু দ্য হস্পিটেল, আৰু নহ'লে মইশ্চাৰাইজাৰ ৰখাই কিপ দ্য বডি মইষ্ট কৰি পেলাই ৰাখিলে ইনফেকশ্যনটো স্প্ৰেড কণ্ট্ৰল হ'ব, ছেকেণ্ডেৰী ইনফেকশ্যন নহয়। চকুৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত চকুটো ধুই পেলাই ৰাখি সদায় মোহাৰিব নালাগে।
The enforcement branch of the Guwahati Municipal Corporation conducted a drive recently which entailed vigorous and surprise checks at several construction sites in and around Guwahati city amid the plummeting air quality levels. According to reports, the residuals of the different constructions, ranging from the Brahmaputra riverfront development construction to the construction of drains, buildings and flyovers, have been one of the main factors in the plummeting AQI in the city. Not only this, as per reports, because of the pollution, many city-bound flights were also diverted due to low visibility arising from a thick cloud of dust recently. Delhi-based Centre of Science and Environment in October 2022 warned that the problem of air pollution is growing steadily in Assam and also in other northeastern states, posing a threat to the concept of pristine blue skies and clean air in this region. It also added that Guwahati's annual average of PM 2.5 level has constantly been much higher for the past 3 years compared to the national average. In the National Air Quality Monitoring Program, 5 non-attainment cities have been identified in Assam, namely Guwahati, Nagaon, Silchar, Sibsagar and Nalbari. The pollutant levels in these cities have exceeded the prescribed air quality standards. Recently, State Housing and Urban Affairs Minister 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗢𝗏 talked to the media about the issue of air pollution in Guwahati. Media reported him saying that due to the ongoing works of various projects in the city, the level of pollution is increasing at an alarming rate. According to sources in the PCBA, that is Pollution Control Board of Assam, the rise in air pollution in Guwahati is due to dust particles, including road dust and dust from the construction sites.
All right, viewers, to discuss more on this, I have with me Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty, renowned doctor from Guwahati. So, doctor, first of all, welcome to this special broadcast. So, what is dust pollution and what are the components of dust pollution? So, first of all, please tell our viewers about that.
The atmosphere. But when it crosses the limits, we call it dust pollution. Now, what are the components of the dust? So, it will contain some solid materials which comes from soil, from sands, from rocks, and also some gaseous products like smokes and some liquids also. So, depends on the size of the particles. We call it particulate matter. There are some numbers. So, if it is a smaller ones, we call it PM 2.5. If it is larger, we call it PM 10.
So, what are the sources of dust pollution, doctor?
Now, the sources of dust or dust pollution, as you see, it comes from river beds, it comes from the hills, it comes from the construction sites, it comes from animals, it comes from factories, industries, coal burning, wood burning. In North India, you have seen that when they burn their agriculture products. In Assam, we don't have that kind of problem, but we are having lots of rivers from dust. In Guwahati, the problem is more because we have a big riverfront, and the dust which comes from River Brahmaputra envelops the whole city. And particularly, as I have been told, that because of the hills around the city, this dust do not go away, it just hangs. Added to that, every day large vehicles, trucks, buses, cars adds to this pollution. And especially when there is traffic congestion, this pollution is more. Now, when there is this particular size is more, large ones, they usually settle down easily, which you can see in your cars, in your house, dust settling down. When it is small, it doesn't settle down easily.
Right, doctor, so please tell us about what is the situation in Assam, particularly in Guwahati right now?
Situation in Assam is not good as far as the air quality, mostly in the cities and in the industrial areas. Even in rural areas, dust particle is quite large number of dust particles are there. So as a whole, in the cities and towns and industrial areas, the situation is not good.
And can we measure dust pollution?
As I have mentioned earlier, this dust pollution can be measured, and the sizes of the dust will qualify it as PM, as I mentioned, PM 2.5 or PM 10. So this, along with other factors, will cause as a whole the atmospheric pollution.
And now talking about the AQI level, which is, we also call it air quality index level. So what is AQI and how can we find out the air quality index levels regularly?
This pollution is also called air quality index, shortly AQI. Now this is very important because if you can measure AQI, then we can predict what kind of pollution is going on. Now, if it is measured by your content, dust content, your gases, ozone, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, so all these are taken care, and a measurement of the AQI is done. Now, this is done in many big countries. Now in India also we are doing it, and this results of this AQI can be obtained from the net, or you can Google it, or you can go to the search for it, and you can get your daily AQI index ready in your hands.
And doctor, also tell us about how is the safe, what is the safe limit in fact of the air quality index, and if we talk about particularly Guwahati, then what is the air quality index in Guwahati?
Now if the AQI is below 51, it is good, very good. Between 51 to 100, good. If it goes above 100, 150, 200, gradually we can term it as bad. And if it goes beyond 250, 300, then this is red zone. This is very dangerous, which we are having in many cities of India. In Guwahati today it is around 130. Sometimes it goes into 170. So in Guwahati also air quality is not good. Yesterday afternoon it was around 172. So this AQI measurement is very important, so that we know what kind of air we are breathing.
Alright, viewers, so I have with us Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty. We will discuss more on dust pollution, but now it's time for a very short break. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Alright viewers, so welcome back to this special broadcast, and today we were discussing about dust pollution, and to discuss I have with me Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty. Dr. Chakravarty, well, my question to you now, what are the effects of dust pollution on our health?
The effects of dust in our body can cause lots of health problems. The large ones, the large particulate ones, settle down in the eyes, throat or nose, and can cause local irritation. And those are having some eye problems or nose problems or throat problems, they can aggravate. So people will have irritation of the eyes, nose, sneezing, cough. These problems will increase. And they can settle down in skin also and can cause irritation of the skin. The smaller particles are more dangerous because they can directly go to the lung, and ultra small matters can go into the blood also. So these smaller particles are very, very dangerous, not only for the patients but also for normal people. Patients who are having chronic lung disease like bronchitis, asthma, COPD, chronic obstructive lung disease, are very, 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 very vulnerable for these problems. So if the air quality is bad, then these patients suffer more. The cardiac patients, they also have problem because of the lower air, lower oxygen levels in the body, the cardiac situation may worsen. so much so that it can cause cardiac or myocardial infarction also. And the patients who are having exposed to long exposure to the these pollutants in the lung, those contains not only the dust but also other fumes, car fumes, and your industrial dust. They are prone to develop not only bronchitis or COPD, but they can long continuous exposure may lead to cancer also.
Right, so we have so many effects of dust pollution on our health. So, doctor, now what can we do to prevent or minimize these effects which you talked about?
So, to prevent or minimize the effect of dust pollution on our health, first thing that we have to know how much polluted is our air, which I have said that we can see that AQI, and or you can see in our naked eyes also how much pollution it is causing. Now, primarily you can, when you are exposed, you can cover your face or nose with masks. It is advisable that you should cover your face with masks wherever you go out. Vulnerable people, people with lung diseases, heart diseases, elderly and very young should stay indoors, because air quality inside the rooms is always much better than the out. So, cover your face with masks, stay indoors unless it is utmost necessary to go out, and take your medications regularly. Inform your doctor that you are living or you have been exposed to dust pollution, so that it becomes easier for them. And with that, you don't exercise also. For example, those who used to run for jogging or others, they should avoid polluted areas. Instead of jogging, they should walk. They should choose some areas where air pollution is less, because inside the city also there are some areas. For example, in Guwahati, if you go to the bypass, 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗘 and other areas, you'll find the pollution is much more. If you go to some other area, but Brahmaputra river front is not safe. That is also very heavily polluted. So you have to know and choose your areas of exercise, walking.
And doctor, what is the right time to see a doctor if a patient is asthmatic, or if that person doesn't have any other symptoms? So when is the right time to see a doctor?
Whenever your symptoms increase, you please meet your doctors. Constant exposure to dust pollution can reduce your life by 5 years. So you have to be careful yourself mostly, and agencies who are doing these construction works, who are cleaning the different things, the controller of traffics, they have a big role in diminishing the. We have seen in Guwahati that drains are being cleaned and immediately they are not taken away. So it stays in the roadside, dries up, and it causes more pollution. Similarly, in some construction areas, people dig up but they don't cover it. So it is not only the responsibility of the government but also to the agencies of different agencies who are doing developmental work, public as a whole. And if you are aware of this, about this air pollution, which is a very dangerous thing, then I think we can, and as I've said earlier, that if you are aware of this air pollution, then we can prevent lots of diseases, lots of these problems.
Right. So now my last question to you, doctor. So what is the role of government, be it state government or the central government, in controlling the air quality index level regularly?
AQI, I have been asked many times, is that AQI, air quality index, how can we know it? I have mentioned it that You can search it in the Google. You can get it in your, even which town you are living, you'll get it. Suppose you are traveling to some place, you can get it. Nowadays, Government of India, especially Central Pollution Control Board, they are making huge efforts to make the air clean, and they also have their websites, which is www.cpcbnic.nic.in, www.cpcb.nic.in. You can go there and find out what is the AIQ in your place, AQI in your place, in town or city or village, and accordingly you can work. I think this is this awareness is very less. I want to tell you again that if you become aware about the AQI, air quality index, and those who are old, elderly, frail, those who have lung diseases, heart diseases, and young, take care of our health, take your medications properly, take advice from the doctors, and as a whole, general population should be very much aware of this thing, and only awareness and corrective measures can save our society from pollution from the dust. Thank you.
Right, Doctor. So the awareness is very important, as we all know that the situation is quite alarming in Assam, particularly in Guwahati. Well, air pollution in Guwahati has increased to an alarming level, causing various respiratory diseases. And as you have heard to Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty, well, he very clearly mentioned that yes, if a patient is asthmatic and if he is suffering, if he has any symptoms, then you should always go and see a doctor, because as you've already heard, we have also shown you a detailed report on what are the effects of dust pollution, and not only the elder ones, but in fact the children, they are admitted to the GMC since the last couple of weeks. They are having bronchitis, fever, and also many chest related ailments. So it is the right time that yes, if you are, the AQI level is very bad. The situation is quite alarming in Guwahati, and we have also spoke to Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty, that he very clearly mentioned that yes, we can measure the air quality index regularly. There are many processes, so it's better, right, if you have any work, then if you are asthmatic patient or if you have any respiratory related diseases, then yes, if you can see the air quality inside, you can check the air quality index level, and if you see that the air quality index level is not good, then it's preferably you stay indoors, and also wear face masks. Another important point made by Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty, he said that yes, whenever you go out, if it's urgent, yes, everyone we have to go out, and we cannot stay indoors regularly, so please wear face masks. Face masks can prevent from entering the dust inside our body through our nose, and so we should always cover our face, especially our nose and mouth, because those dust pollution can cause various respiratory diseases which can be very dangerous for us. So we was all right. So that's all we have for now. I hope this episode will be very beneficial for all our viewers. So thanks Dr. Bhabani Prasad Chakravarty for joining us this afternoon. So on that note, it's a wrap. Keep watching Northeast Live, and thanks for watching.